Hi everyone, it's Bev DeBono with today's tip. Well, I have a really cool idea to show you using the Creative Memories Border Maker system and this Ancient Key Border Maker cartridge. Now, I don't think I've done anything with this in the past, so I wanted to take the time to show you this and to show you how it works. So we're going to make a border all around a page using this particular cartridge. And I'm going to show you how you can actually do that, because normally you can't do it with all the Border Maker cartridges, but with this one there's a little trick to it. So let's get started. I'm going to insert my cartridge all the way into my holder and make sure I hear that click all the way back. Then to start, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a base that I'm going to punch, and then a color that I'm going to put underneath the punch itself, and then a paper that I'm going to put in the middle. So these are the three that I have selected. I'm going to put the yellow underneath the green, and then this is going to get cut and put into the middle. So let's start on the green first, because we're going to need to punch that out. And now that we have our cartridge in the system, what I want to do is just open my, I'm just going to slide this to the side, open my paper holder, lift up the arm, slide my cardstock under here, slide the paper holder back and underneath, and now start punching. And I'm going to line up the little edge there with the edge that's on my base. And we're just going to punch all the way down. Now this is normally how we would punch a border maker, with a border maker, and we would punch all the way across the top and then cut it, or else use it for another page. This one, you can see I'm going to use the yellow underneath it. But in order to make this border, what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch all the way through on the top and the bottom, but only 4 times on the 2 sides. So I have the top one done. Let's do the first side. And we do the same thing again. Open up our paper holder, put this under, slide it back. And now what you want to do is start not at your first, but at your second. So you're going to skip the top and you're going to skip the bottom one. So let's punch that. So this is for the side. So we're only punching that 4 times. Now we're going to turn that again, and this is the bottom. So we're going to punch the bottom all the way across. And look at these fun little goodies that are coming out of here. And I'm sure that you could make a lot of great things with these. So now this is the bottom. We're going to punch it all the way through. And we got one complete border there. And now the other side, we're going to repeat what we did on the previous side, which is put it in, and we're going to skip the top and the bottom. So we're going to start it at the second, third, fourth, and fifth punch. Okay, so now we have our punches using the actual system and the paper holder itself. Now what I want to do is I want to complete these little sections here that are hanging out. And because this particular border cartridge is such a repeat pattern, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little trick. I'm going to turn it over and use it like a punch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up what's on the design of the cartridge to the design that's on my paper that I have punched. So I'm going to overlap. See, there's two complete designs on the cartridge. So I'm going to overlap one of them. Turn it to the side here so I could see. And make sure it's completely covered and overlapped. Oh, there we go. I had this turned around upside down here. Okay, and then once you have that and it's lined up completely, then what you want to do is you want to take it and use your cartridge as a punch. And so now it's punching through that first one again, which is already punched, but then creating another punch here. So now you've got a complete border. And we're going to do this 3 more times. So make sure that what you have, that you're matching it up with, matches completely. You have one overlapping right in that cartridge itself. And then the other one is where you're going to punch. So we're using this as a punch. And now we have 2 more to go. One on this side, lining it up again. Exactly on the where you punched it. Turn it over and punch down. And then we're going to go to this one and do one last one. And turn it and punch. Okay, so now we have your border that goes all the way around. But in order to really pop it, we want to put another paper under it. But I don't want to waste all this paper that's underneath it. Plus it becomes very, very heavy. So what I'm going to do with the one that's underneath and peeking through is I'm going to cut a hollow frame. So just like I did on this one, the back, I'm going to cut out a 2-inch hollow frame on the back of it so as not to waste all of that other paper. So I'm going to show you how to do that on your trimmer. We're cutting a 2-inch hollow frame. Now the Creative Memories trimmer is a pretty cool thing because the housing unit for the blade is all set up in increments of 1 inch. And when you turn it to the side, you see the white line, and that is where your blade is going to cut. And there is exactly 1 inch from that white line to the top of the housing unit, and 1 inch from the cut line to the bottom of the housing unit. And so in order to make a 2-inch frame, I'm going to start my paper on the left at the 2-inch mark at the top. And then I'm going to start my housing to make sure the bottom of my housing, which is here, starts at the 3-inch mark. I'm not cutting all the way through, I'm cutting a hollow frame. So I'm going to start the bottom of my housing at the 3-inch mark. And because I want to end it 2 inches up, I'm going to end the bottom of my housing at the 11-inch mark. And because the blade is 1 inch away from where the housing ends, it will give me a perfect 2-inch mark. Okay, so I'm going to start the bottom at 3, end the bottom at 11, turn my paper to the right, start it at the 2-inch. This time I'm going to start at the 11, press down, and then end it. I can actually see where the white cut line is and where it meets what I've already cut. So I'm going to stop it right there, which is at the 3-inch. Turn your paper to the right. So see, we've started the hollow frame. We're starting to make the hollow frame. Turn your paper to the right, going to the 2-inch mark again. start your housing at the bottom of your housing at the 3, end at the 11, lift up, turn to the right, and you can now start your bottom of your housing at the 11 and come back up and end at the 3. So now you have cut a 2-inch hollow frame, and what that does is it really helps so that you're not using or wasting all this excess paper, and it cuts down on the weight in your albums. Now we are ready to attach your punched out border base on top of the bottom base. Just gonna slide this over a little bit so you can see. So I'm using my silicone mat. I'm using my repositionable tape, turning it over, and I'm only gonna put tape on the outer edge here. And the reason I'm not putting it any further here is because there's nothing to tape it to. We cut out that hollow section. And I'm going to go all the way around with this and make sure that I have tape. And now I'm going to line this up. The piece that's peeking through, I'm going to line up on my mat. And I'm going to put my punched out base on top of the mat, the cardstock that it's peeking through. And now I have a beautiful border just like that. Now my inner paper, I want to cut to whatever paper you use, you want to cut to 9.5-inch square. So I am using this because it has a border edge here, and I want to showcase that a little bit. I'm going to cut that to 9.5-inch square. Open your arm. This is the side I want to have on the left, so I'm going to make sure that side lines up to the 9.5-inch mark on my trimmer. And then I'm going to turn to the left on this one, or if you're using your other piece on the right, you can turn it to the right, line it up again to 9.5 and cut that through. And you have the 9.5-inch section here. And I'm going to quick tape that down so that you could see that really quickly. And then I have already put some foam squares on the back of some lemons here. And I'm going to add that up in my page just to give it some more dimension. So there you go. This is using the Ancient Key Border Maker cartridge to make a complete border, and this is one that I've done with a Disney theme. So enjoy. Please let me know which one you like the best, the Disney or the lemons. This idea came from one of the advisors on my team, Alice, and we share a lot of ideas together on my team. We do a monthly crop and sharing of ideas. So if you're thinking of becoming an advisor, please think of me and contact me, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope to see you again soon. You can check out, I have a lot of videos on my YouTube channel, Bev DeBono Designs. If you subscribe to it, you will get a notification every time I post a new video. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.